We interrupt your daily clinical dose of Joseph Mental for two far more handsome gentlemen, myself and Vince. What's up?
What's going on?
Welcome to episode 7 of the clinical dose. My first, well actually we should probably establish, am I Joe or are you Joe and I'm Vince, or we're both wearing glasses, so we should probably...
Yeah, I think you can be Joe.
I'll be Joe?
You'll be Joe.
So take
them off.
I'll put them on for the smart questions. We'll just leave them right there. We have some wicked questions today, sent in by our lovely fans and community of Team MassiveJoes. Shall we just get straight into it?
Let's do it. So
All right.
Question 1. I feel like I'm in limbo since the MJ challenge was postponed. Any advice? From Clintos on an Instagram Q&A.
Beautiful. You want to fire off?
Yeah, I can lead off. So pretty much with the challenge, it would have been a bit disappointing. We got 4 weeks into it, I think, or so, 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And then obviously with COVID-19, had to cancel it. With that, my advice would be, your goal, whether you're in the challenge, fat loss, muscle gain, it's been hard with closure of gyms, everything like that. But try and now everything's coming opening again. Try and reestablish that goal that you were working towards, and really just kind of get that motivation to support that goal yourself, and keep tackling towards that goal. Don't kind of forget it, leave it in the background. The challenge is gone now. I can do whatever I want. Just really need to work towards that challenge. Whether you need to now invest in a personal trainer or something like that. My advice is really just keep working towards that goal and things will get better. The challenge is going to come back. You can start back in then. But for now, you just really need to kind of keep trying to push yourself to achieve better and achieve that goal that you were still after.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Really, what you said is it's all about goals. You have your goals, you still work towards them. It's like, yeah, cool, you may have lost the gym, you may have lost the MJ challenge, but you still had, I think we did hit 3-4 weeks of it.
Yeah, I think it was 4. We're coming up to the 5-week check-ins, and we decided to cancel with COVID. So.
That's right, yeah. And so you still would have had your base nutrition plan, you still would have had all the fundamentals to make up your meals and to practice nutrient timing, and obviously the training plan in itself. So while you might not be able to have used the facilities to get the exact same workout, you can still train, but more importantly, diet is everything. Whether you're muscle gain or whether you're fat loss, you can still work towards that goal, even setting smaller, minier goals to just keep aiming on, whether you just eat all your meals you normally would in a day, or just little things like that, but just anything that's going to help set a goal that you can work towards to keep your motivation up.
Yeah, and I know even with my training, I've struggled throughout COVID with closure of gyms, not having a lot of equipment. And really, for me, it's like some weeks have been terrible. But really, the next week, I'm just trying to beat that week I had previously, trying to kind of improve, whether I miss one less meal, whether I train one more time and don't miss a training session that week. It's just something small that I can improve on and say, yeah, look, this was a good week. Set those small goals, like you said.
Absolutely. All right, next question.
So, I have completed a bachelor degree of sport management and business, but could never get a job. Everywhere I go, I tick all the boxes, but the guy with connections always snags the job. What would you do if you were in this situation? From Mort_Eza on Instagram Q&A.
All right.
You want to lead off?
Yeah, all right. First thing is, I have no idea about who or what Mort is, but straight away he's always saying that he's already making the assumption that the guy with the connections get the job. First and foremost, his personality could be absolute shithouse, and the person that happens to have connections could also have an amazing personality. And that just pure coincidence. Not saying anything, I don't know the person at all, but that's also saying that. But there are definitely situations where it comes down to more who you know as opposed to what you know. And I'm probably a perfect example of that.
Yeah, I got some experience in this one as well through uni. Degree, so
yeah, I have no degrees. I've done a business degree. I've been MassiveJoes warehouse manager, written content manager. I am a personal trainer, or I have qualified as a personal trainer, and I've worked in multiple gyms, and I've worked in supplement retail stores, and everything. And I've never had any sort of official qualification, and it's sort of always worked through who I've known or coming across as a really good person. I guess how do you work in that situation? It's more about just seizing any opportunity that you get. Like, while you may be qualified and you may tick all the boxes for a job, that doesn't mean you're going to get it straight away. And sometimes it does come down to who someone knows or the personality they bring or how they present themselves. But it might just be a simple matter of going for a job that might be essentially below your qualification. Like my brother, he's beyond qualified to be a personal trainer. He's done his honours, he's now doing his PhD after doing his exercise science degree. Way more qualified than me, but his first job he got was as a personal trainer because it was a step in the door. And from that, he's been able to work through connections as he got more qualified and then progressed and progressed and progressed. So I would say just sort of maybe take a job or look for a job that maybe is a step in the right direction. It's a foot in the door. Maybe it's not like the end job you want that you are technically qualified for, but it's a step in and then work your way up from there.
Yeah, I would agree 100% with that. And I think after coming out of a uni degree, I don't know how far you've been out and what kind of experience you have had, but experience, especially in the sports side, is so competitive out there. I could probably count on one hand the amount of people who've graduated. I mean, I'm still studying myself part-time, and my friends that have graduated that actually have good within like sporting clubs, exercise, sports science, kind of roles within there. A lot of them have come out to be personal trainers, like you said. And really, it's really about building those connections because it is so competitive. Whether you go through volunteer work, a lot of that stuff and those connections you built through your uni work to get your name out there, to show that you have the knowledge. Because you could go through uni, have all the kind of theoretical knowledge, but not have any practical knowledge, not know how to deal with people that well yet. So it's really about building that connection, building that experience to then make your name stand out, doing something that's going to make and put you above everyone else, making your name stand out for a reason.
Absolutely. All right, next question.
So when gyms reopen, how would you start again working out for hypertrophy? From VHus97 on Instagram Q&A again.
Yeah, that's a bloody good question because I'm sure already like a few of us have hit the gym and the DOMs have been
I'm sore. I'm so sore.
The DOMs have been on a new level. It's okay. So like, let's make the assumption that you've been able to sort of train fairly basically. Maybe you've been following the MassiveJoes workouts we've been doing with the combination of resistance bands, the booty bands, and just your body weight. So maybe that's been your foundation of training. No dumbbells, no equipment. You've just been using bands. I definitely consider going back to more like, and obviously the assumption is that you would probably doing a bro split previously, like maybe you're training 1, maybe 2 body parts per day. Coming back into the gym, you almost need to treat it like you're coming back from an injury or you're coming from almost when you started, I would say. Like
100%,
you're going back to basics where you may have just done an upper body, lower body rest day, or even the good old fashioned push-pull legs. Giving your body just that slightly less intense workout, focus on that one particular or those 2 particular parts of the body, making a slightly more general workout to just essentially give your body a chance to go, oh yeah, that's right, we used to do this. This is how it works. And then obviously you're not going to pull up with ridiculous DOM straight away, although you probably will still feel absolutely fucked. But you'll work your way back into getting to that point where maybe after a few weeks you could then dial yourself back into a more particular split where you're going maybe 1 or 2 body parts per day, I reckon.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for myself, just getting back into it, exactly the same thing. I mean, I'm sore. I've been in there 3 days, planning to go 5 for this first week, but I've been taking it really slow. So, I mean, most gyms now are limited to an hour and 45 minutes. I'm doing 5 training sessions, just basic, back, chest, shoulders, legs, arms. Split it up like that, so then I'm not really sore throughout my whole body, and I can get in there because it has good effects on mental health as well. But in terms of working towards hypertrophy, start slow. I think I'm doing like 5 exercises and that's it.
Like you said,
weight's been cut back to light weights pretty much from when I was starting, just to get that muscle engagement again.
Yeah, and like you said, like most gyms are limiting your session. Like, you know, used to spend an hour and a half, 2 hours training 1 or 2 body parts. If you're restricted to an hour, including your warm up, and maybe you want to do 10 minutes on the Stairmaster as well, you know, not just, you can still do that more individual workout, but just condensing it down, not as much load, not as much intensity brought to that workout.
Exactly. So in particular, I'm doing kind of 12 to 15 reps, quite light again, just getting my muscles working, and about 4 or 5 working sets per exercise. And that's taking me about 45 minutes to an hour, which is perfect. And I'm ridiculously sore still.
Which is a good feeling, right? It feels good to be sore. Oh, man.
I would just take it slow, get back into it, and just wait for things to ease up before hitting it hard.
All right, next question. What do we got?
How will gyms run under the new normal if they decide to acknowledge COVID-19? From Ben Drickley on Instagram Q&A.
All right, I'm going to pop the
glasses back on.
Pop the glasses back on, because I have literally, I guess by the time you guys will be watching this video, the article would have been live. I've just written an article about essentially why some gyms may or may not open right now in this sort of sort of during COVID, but I guess some post-lockdown COVID period in Australia with at least. Take South Australia, for example. Gyms have been open since the 1st of June. The restrictions are gym fitness classes, 10-person maximum plus their staff. A gym floor, like just an open gym floor, whether it's like a CrossFit box or just an open gym, regardless of the size, 20 people. If that gym floor happens to have multiple rooms or segmented rooms and the space still allows for that 4 square meters per person, they can have up to 80 people. Some states are a little bit less strict than this and others are a bit more restricted than this and others still haven't even open yet. I know pretty much half the country is still closed until next week.
Yeah.
The big question is, like, you got to think about it. If you have a gym, for example, and let's take the 2 most busiest times of the day, like, you know, let's say 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. and then 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. You could be in that gym, like just any size gym, doesn't matter, and there would normally be anywhere from 50 to 60 people. And in that 2-hour period, you could have like 100 to 150, if not 200 people come through the gym and do a session of a variety of times and sessions and cardio and group fitness and all that sort of stuff. So instead of having 200 people come through that gym in that 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. period and that 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. period, you're now only able to have 40 at both because you're only able to have 20 people and most of them, like you said before, they're doing about like hour sessions you can book in for. That is a massive blow to income.
Definitely.
Like huge blow to the business's income. And the fact of the matter is that it's still going to cost the exact same overheads of prices like electricity, lighting, TVs, music, air conditioning, all that sort of stuff, still going to cost the exact same whether there's 20 people on the floor or whether there is 200 people on the floor. And same goes for staffing as well, because most gyms only just have reception staff.
Yeah.
You still need those 2-3 reception staff there, whether it is 20 people on the floor or 200 people on the floor. So from a business point of view, whether, like, you know, if a gym's going to choose to open or not in the first instance it's a massive decision. It's not as straightforward as going, yep, cool, we can open, let's go for it. I know some gyms have jumped on it straight away because, well, they just want to. I'm sure the owners are probably bored and the staff's probably bored and everyone just wants to train straight away. But I know there are other gyms that are going, look, we're just going to hang out for phase 3, which hopefully would allow for more people to be in that space to get it back to a slightly more norm situation. Yeah. But yeah, like, and then on top you got all like the hygiene side of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, having to hand sanitizer as you walk in, spacing out the equipment. There's been videos of gyms, you know, posting to their members showing that they've spaced all the equipment out and there's hand sanitizers and people are going to be wiping down their equipment, no towel, no train, and it's
everything.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I mean, they have to run under the government guidelines. So I guess they have to acknowledge COVID-19. If they don't acknowledge that, they won't be open.
Absolutely.
To address your question specifically. So I think for them not to acknowledge it is really kind of bad at this point. And I don't think those ones who won't be opening or reopening, because I think they'll probably lose a fair few customers if they don't. Because I mean, a lot of people are worried. I mean, even going back at my gym now for that hour at about 7 o'clock, I book in 6:40. Yeah. There's a lot less people. I mean, during that time, I would go in before there were probably about 40 people at minimum. Now there's probably like 13 out of like a 20 max. So not everyone is even going back to invest yet. A lot of people are waiting out as well.
Oh, absolutely.
So this is going to kind of affect the gym's profitability and whether they're open or not as well.
And going on that as well, not everyone's going to want to go back straight away as far as members go. It's not a simple matter of just, you know, flick the switch, everyone goes back, business as usual, and all the members are relaxed. Like, think about all the members that have invested money and time into setting up their own home gym setup now. They may go, look, I'm done with the gym. This is my new thing. So that's another thing. Businesses, as a business point of view, the gyms might have lost half their members. Half their members could cancel their memberships and put them on suspension or pause them or whatever they want to do. So there's a lot to be considered about a gym.
Yeah.
Once you said after they acknowledge COVID-19, because they have to, they need to acknowledge it, put all these practices into action, and then think about, okay, is it actually going to be financially possible to open, pay all the overheads, pay the staff? And then the big question is, what do you charge your members?
Yeah,
Do you charge them a casual fee? Do you just unpause and unfreeze everyone's membership and get them paying their usual rates even though they can't book in again? These are... It's
and there's a variety of things that gyms are doing. I've seen some gyms half price, some gyms are starting kind of for their PTs, starting startup things again where it's tiered up. Some gyms are just full price. So really, it's a bit crazy out there at the moment. And I guess everyone's trying to do their thing to get back on track and earn some money again as a business. So
yeah, man, crazy times. Next question.
So no sugarcoating. how to encourage my overweight wife to get healthy from on Instagram Q&A. I mean, there's a few things really. First of all, I think you need to be empathetic with her situation that she's in. Everyone kind of has different purposes, so you need to be able to not judge her for where she's at and kind of support her through whatever she's going through, whether she's unmotivated, and kind of trying to bring those things up to support your wife essentially, and try and encourage her to be healthier. Other things you can do is kind of, if she has a goal and wants to be healthy and her kind of actions aren't following that, politely kind of you can show discrepancy between kind of her actions and kind of what she's doing and where her goal is and where she wants to be. Obviously you have to be careful about how you do that.
Yes, treading very lightly there.
But yeah, I mean, these kind of come through kind of motivational interviewing kind of techniques as well, where you can kind of show people that their goal that they really want and their actions don't kind of correlate in terms of getting that end result.
Yeah.
So you kind of need to do that. And then making it positive, showing a positive outcome. So instead of kind of exercising so hard, you can kind of try and show her the positive outcomes of exercise in terms of feeling healthier, being happier, and encourage more of those things, rather than kind of, she might be kind of shut you down, no, it's too hard, I don't want to do this. Kind of try and reflect on some of those positive aspects of being healthier essentially, and losing weight. I mean, I've been there myself and you feel so much better. Not being kind of obese or heavily overweight or anything, whatever your situation is. And then the biggest one is going to be support.
Yeah.
Just supporting her, even doing things together, kind of encourage her to come out with you. Some people don't want to exercise with their husbands because they're a bit intimidated. They think they're going to drag them down. So be very supportive, try and bring her along to your sessions. Yeah. Got anything to add there?
No, I mean, especially that last bit of support. Support's going to be the biggest factor for you to actually, for her or any partner to respond positively to, you know, doing exercise or making changes. And the biggest thing is it's going to be changes to their lifestyle. And I mean, like, you know, even if you guys are living together or you just, you know, boyfriend and girlfriend living in their own places and you just, you know, sleep over at each other's houses occasionally or whatever the situation is, it's a change in lifestyle for them. And it all comes back down to, you know, obviously if it fits your lifestyle as you know, what's going to work for each and every person. Very rarely do you get a scenario where you're going to have two people in a relationship that love training at the same intensity and the same style of training and like that, like, you know, I've rarely had a partner that would have liked to go to the gym for 1.5 hours and just lift heavy weights. I mean, it's just, you know, that's not it. And then it's, you know, there's complications where, oh, you know, you want to go to the gym and they don't want to go to the gym, or just different times of the day. I think the biggest thing is, like you said, is sort of trying to incorporate it and keeping it in a positive outlook. I mean, even just going for a walk. I mean, a walk is exercise, but also a walk with your partner is also time where it's just you and your partner, and you have to talk. which, you know, I'm sure a lot of people out there don't actually just, you know, stop or just sit down and talk without the TV there or being on your phones and stuff. When you're out for a walk, you are literally just walking around and observing things and discussing them as you're going around, and it can be a really nice thing. And then obviously then trying to very, like you said, very delicately sort of point out things that might not be working within their lifestyle towards the goals that they want, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I know, for example, that if my partner is starting to get headaches, I can simply go, have you drunk enough water today? And they go, no. And I'm like, and they go, I know, yes, yeah, I know you say it, all right, I'll drink more water. And the next day they drink heaps of water and they're pissing heaps, but they're like, oh, I feel so much better and I'm thinking so much clearer. And just little things like that, not sort of being naggy, not trying to be demanding and not trying to push it on them, but just trying to like encourage them in a way that's sort of fun and lighthearted and baby steps, 100% baby steps.
Yeah.
Don't try and give them a training program and go, oh, we're going to do this, this, and this, and this. Just go, you want to go for a walk?
Yeah, and with that, there's so many that's not, like, going to the gym isn't for everyone. There's so many outdoor activities you can go, whether it's just a walk, kind of involving more outdoor activities, going for a hike, doing something that's going to involve both of you, spending time together, which is good quality time, where you're going to build on your relationship as well, and that's going to help her. You have to be supportive. I mean, if she doesn't want to lose weight, it's going to be very hard to kind of set her goals to do that. So even just these little things where you're spending time together, and you go out for a walk and then she feels good after, you feel good, you build on your relationship.
Yeah.
It's those little small things that could potentially help there as well.
Absolutely. And even like you just mentioned, I thought like, you know, this person might like lifting. If you're a typical lifter and you don't like going for walks or cardio, then you have to be flexible as well.
Yeah.
You're asking them to change what they want to do. You know, if they're set in their way and they like what they're doing and they don't really have a problem with it, even if they do have a problem with it, they're set in their way, they like what they eat, they like what they do, they like the lack or the extent of exercise that they do. You're asking them to increase that or change things. You also need to change things. Maybe you need to be a little bit less strict with your diet and maybe cook a meal that you could both have together. You need to then also go, okay, you know, instead of going to the gym for an hour and a half, I'll go for an hour and then we'll go for a walk for half an hour afterwards when I get home. Like, you need to be, you need to work 50% each way. It needs to be a partnered attempt here to actually make things work.
Definitely, yeah.
That's a big one. Any more questions?
That's it.
Vincenzo.
That's it.
That's it. Episode 7, done and dusted. My first debut.
Yeah, how'd you like it?
It's good. It's good. Fucking good questions though. Wicked questions. Like you guys, like I'm surprised at the questions we have. Wide variety, and they're like, you know, things that I wouldn't even think, but I know for a fact there are so many people out there that have asked me similar questions or would face similar questions every single day or just in their life and stuff. It's wicked.
Definitely.
Episode 7, Clinical Dose Done and Dusted, guys. Here we go. Right. Don't forget to hit that like button. It's down there somewhere. And subscribe to the channel on your mobile, your cell phone, if you're in America and you call it a cell phone, and your desktop PC. Did that. Don't forget to turn the post notifications on so you never miss a beat on the MassiveJoes YouTube channel. Holy shit, it's all coming to me. This is the first time I've done this. Vincenzo, do you have any questions or anything else?
Any questions for the next episode? Pop them in the comments below, and we'll be sure to answer them as well.
Oh yeah. And then that's it. We'll see you next time. Vincenzo, where are we coming to and from?
MassiveJoes.com.
Oh, no, I gotta hop up. Gotta come around. Stay massive.
Thank you for tuning in to this video. We hope you enjoyed watching. Don't forget to check out our latest upload and our recommended video, and be sure to subscribe to the MassiveJoes YouTube channel to stay up to date with all of our latest uploads.